Welcome back to Okaloosa Today. I'm Doug Rayner with the City of Destin. Today we're going to hear from our good folks at the Destin Library about all of the programs and events they have coming up over the next few months, as well as some of the progressions they're making to better serve our residents, businesses, and visitors. So joining me right now are two of our veteran guests on the show, and kind of an annual update for the Destin Library. Our Library Director, Urati Burns, and Tina Capel, our Library Administrative Assistant. So ladies, it's a pleasure.
Hello. We always like to come.
Well, I appreciate you being here, and this is an easy topic because you guys are so active, you're so engaged, all of your staff are, not just the two of you, we always see that, and you're very progressive. And I know that one thing you guys wanted to talk about are some of the new things and new developments that are going on within the Destin Library. So why don't you just kind of give us an overview of some of those things right now?
Well, the start of a new fiscal year is always exciting because that's when the budget money kicks in. Even if it's not as much as we'd like, it's still there. And one of the exciting things we're doing is for the 10th anniversary of our library, we still call it the new library, a lot of people do in town, we are doing a repurposing space project, which some people might call remodeling, but we say repurposing some of our existing space, about 500 square feet, that is right now fiction stack space will become meeting rooms for various purposes. So it's an exciting thing because the public has demanded it and we want to serve them as well as we can.
Well, you said new library. If you've never been to our library, it's a gorgeous building, and I don't know exactly how old it is. I don't know the history on all of that, but it looks new right now. I mean, what you've done to maintain it and what you've created is really, really nice.
Part of Team Destin's effort. Maintenance is always a big issue with libraries, and I have to thank our architects. I may as well brag on DAG Architects because we got an award 5 years ago for architecture, especially good library architecture, and I think that's what's made the building maintain itself. It's the use of the space, not so much the fact that it's wearing out. It's just that we need more and more private rooms. We have a lot of online students taking online testing. We want to get other groups of people involved, and we only have one big meeting room and one small meeting room. And that's why we've decided we need to reduce some of our fiction and nonfiction collection and make more private space.
Well, and you guys do a good job of using the resources that we have. I mean, we have a beautiful facility. It's not huge in the scope of, I guess, libraries, but you know, with tight budgets, we can't just add on or build a new building. So repurposing of space is a very good way to put it, and it's very creative. So I know that our patrons will enjoy that.
Oh, I think they will. Yeah.
Let's talk about some of some other advances that we're making, and we have here technology changes, things that we're progressing into. Tina, you kind of manage that for the library. You were very instrumental in the Destin website that we created. The library has a great presence on the website, and that's attributed to you and your team at the library. And your technology skills are much better than mine. So give us a little overview of advancements that we've got, and I won't give away anything. I'll just let you tell us what you're doing.
Well, at the library, you know, it's one of the main things for us is to keep abreast of emerging technologies. And you know, we have to be there to serve our customers, to provide them with information, training, and our landscape is changing so much. The way people read books has changed greatly with eBooks, e-readers. People are reading books on their smartphones. They're reading books on airplanes using iPads and that kind of thing. So it's important for us to be aware of all of those emerging technologies and to prepare for them. So one of the things that we are planning to do in November is offer what we're calling the Technology Petting Zoo. And a huge question that we get, one of our most frequently asked, is what should I buy? I'm looking for an e-reader. I know you have eBooks now. That's something that's new on our that we provide through the Okaloosa County Cooperative. And they want to know what they should buy. So the Technology Petting Zoo, the idea behind that is for them to be able to kind of get their hands on the different devices, the iPads, the Nooks, the Kindles, and really talk to other lay people who already own those and find out what's best for them.
Now, is that something that the library will provide? They'll have all those devices there for people to look at and say, everybody doesn't have an iPad, but you'll have some there that they can look at and play with, and some experts, I guess, who can tell them what's going on.
We will. We plan to have a couple of vendors come in and bring theirs, and of course, they're skilled at demonstrating, but we also, the idea is to have other volunteers who actually own those devices. So they'll bring theirs with them. You know, Urati and I will have our iPads, and we have some book club avid patrons at the library who will be bringing in their Kindles and a couple of Nooks. And yeah, so they'll have plenty of devices to touch and play with and kind of get an idea.
Well, good. Now let's talk a little bit about these ebooks, and you mentioned them briefly. And let's dumb it down for people like me who just need to understand exactly what an ebook is. What are the advantages, maybe disadvantages, and how are you presenting this to your patrons over at the library?
Well, with ebooks, one of the advantages, obviously, particularly people who travel, is they don't have to try to pack 5 books in their suitcase. So that's an advantage. You know, the selection, I'll let Urati talk a little bit to that.
And these are things that you just download directly from the internet onto your smartphone or device.
Right, exactly. And there are so many different devices, which is why we want to have that technology petting zoo. I, for example, only use my iPad, but I don't use it that much for reading ebooks as I do for just about everything else. It's replaced a laptop for the most part for me. Tina does a little more reading on her iPad, but she has book clubs that she runs. And interestingly enough, those are some of the first people who started downloading ebooks, were her book club members. They're really a great, she has a couple, 2 or 3 different groups, and they're great readers and they're voracious readers. They didn't want to wait till we got enough print copies in. So the demand started with them, and of course they would go onto Amazon and then download it onto their Kindle. Now, as far as the library is concerned, we're in a kind of an awkward situation. All libraries are, not just us. Through the cooperative, we own about, I'd say, 400 titles now, which is not that many ebooks. And Tina and I spent about an hour last week shopping for titles, and I was really kind of amazed at how, I knew that we were having a problem in the library world with publishers, but I was surprised how few titles are available. The 6 biggest publishers will not sell to libraries. You want a book, you can go onto Amazon and buy it. I can buy it on Amazon personally, but as a library, we're blocked from that. We simply do not have access to it. And I think that's where some of our patrons get disappointed. They come in and they say, why can't I get this title? Or they'll come in and say, I'm through reading this. Can I give it to you at the library? Can I give you my copy, my digital copy? And of course they can't. So that's where there's going to be some changes taking place now, but it's really makes it kind of difficult. We're in a difficult situation.
Sure, and I know that knowing you two, you'll do anything you can to make it work. How about, just for the ease of our audience, how do you check out an ebook, and how do you get into the mode of looking online for a book to check out, not to buy, just to check it out from our library online? How would we go about doing that?
Well, the first step would be to go to our website, our brand new website. It's
Here you
great.
go. I was going to say that. I'm glad you did.
I'm going to plug it. But if you go to the City of Destin website, we do have the link in a couple of places. It just says ebooks. You can also go to the county's website and get the link from there. That takes you to the Okaloosa County Digital Library. Those are the books that we have available. And there are plenty of other sites where people can get their ebooks, but if you go there, of course, that's free. And there are great instructional videos that are available through Overdrive, but our staff is ready, willing, and able to help if you have any problems downloading those ebooks. Okay. Every device is different.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned the limited number of books right now that you guys are working to bump up, but what about topics? Are they broad? Are we looking at mostly fiction, nonfiction, or what can we expect if we go in there and look for some books?
Mostly fiction. There is some nonfiction. Now, there are entire libraries. Project Gutenberg is one that's available through the Overdrive portal that we use at our library and through the cooperative. So those are public domain ebooks. So there's no problem in getting Huckleberry Finn or Tom Sawyer or copies of the Bible in digital form. But you're not going to go out and get the latest Tom Clancy in digital form through the library.
But we hope that's coming, right?
We hope so.
Okay.
We're looking forward to it.
Very good. Thanks for working hard on that, and it gives everybody another avenue to find books and read. And if you can't make it into the library, you can still check something out. Another topic that we were going to discuss is your initiative to increase teenagers coming to the library. You know, we have children go into the library, but they don't go to the library like we did, even at school. So, as a public library, how are we trying to incentivize these kids to come in? And before we go any further, I know that you do a really good job already, because I know that your teen programs are doing well. So we won't sell ourselves short and say that they're not going well, but what are the things that you guys are doing to really enhance that?
Well, Will Rogers, who's our children's librarian, also does summer programs. So he's very instrumental in that as well. And his summer programs involve interns. Reading Buddies is a program that he's really working to get going. Reading Buddies is where we would bring teenagers in to read to younger children, provide them with bright futures, community service hours. Right. Teenagers are always looking for those, and we have plenty of opportunities at the library. But the programs that I like to run are typically book related, and we've had some great parties. We've had a Twilight Party, our final Twilight Party we're calling the Final Battle. That comes up in November, and we're excited about that. That's the final movie in the series, and we've done Hunger Games and Harry Potter, and we get great attendance from all ages, not just the teens.
Is there a date set for the Twilight Party in November yet?
November 15th. It's the 15th. Night. We're working out some of the details. We're going to try to do something in conjunction with Fort Walton Beach. So, we don't have the exact time yet, but it should be November 15th. That's the night of the midnight premiere. Okay.
And be sure to tell everybody to go to our website and go to the calendar,
Absolutely.
The library's calendar. You can see all of those events and programs that they do. Speaking of go ahead, Roddy.
Well,
if you have something to add.
Well, I do, because Tina does a great job with these teenage programs. Will does a great job in mentoring teen volunteers. Where we're lagging behind has nothing to do with our initiatives, it has to do with our physical location. We're not located near a school, whereas some of the other libraries in the cooperative are right across the street from a school, and so they get the teenagers in then. And the reason we're so eager to get more teenagers in is to develop that lifelong love of reading that libraries are very, very instrumental in promoting. So we're working on programs and initiatives to get more of them in. I think that Tina probably will tell you about some of the online programs that we have as well, like ePrep.
Yes, ePrep. This is probably one of our best programs that we offer that is being underutilized. The schools have been great, for Walton Beach High School, Niceville High School, in publicizing it. It's called ePrep, and ePrep is a SAT and PSAT and ACT preparatory online program.
Free. And very important to our college-bound kids.
Exactly. Yes, it's completely free. It's all you've got to do is go into a library to register. From there, you can do it at home. It's 24 hours, 7 days a week from their home, and it's invaluable. It's got video tutorials, word of the day. It's a great program, and it is currently being underutilized. We'd love to see more teens take it.
I think it tracks your progress. Let's say I'm deficient in math or algebra or geometry or whatever it is. It will track that, and it will give me more of those problems and tutorials to assist in that. So it really, it's just a sleeping giant. I wish every parent out there listening, we've got it.
Absolutely.
ePrep.
Yeah.
Now, what do you have to do to be able to take advantage of all these programs? It's pretty simple, right? Just need to become a member of the library.
If you have an Okaloosa County library card, which Destin, Niceville, Crestview, Mary Esther, Valparaiso, are all member libraries along with us, so that's what you need. It's just one of those.
And guests are available. You're more than welcome to come to some of our programs, like the parties.
Right.
So even if you don't have a library card, you're visiting in the area, this is something we do for our visitors. One of our Twilight parties was in the summer. We had tremendous attendance from people who were just in town for vacation. So those kinds of programs are open to everybody. Community service hours, more specific things like that, ePrep in particular, you would need a card for.
And before we finish up, I want to make sure everybody understands that there's a lot of classes that the library provides. I know AARP comes in with tax help at the tax time. You guys probably won't be on the show before tax time comes up, so we'll let everybody know that. Also, computer classes. You have people and actually volunteers that come in and help with that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
And do you have to be a member of the library to be a part of a computer class?
Yes.
Okay. Good.
Right. We do encourage membership. Yeah.
And we're always looking for teachers. Let me put that plug in there as well. We have some fantastic volunteers. Not everybody wants to teach a class, but if you have a particular skill that you want to bring in and share with other people, contact Will Rogers at the library, and he's always looking for more teachers.
Good. That's a great segue into something we'll talk about in a minute, is the city's open house. But before we get to that, I want to ask you guys if there's anything left anything else you want to say about the library before we wrap up.
Well, the cooperative's 15th anniversary, were we going to discuss that?
I have a note here to mention that.
Okay.
And it's just to remind our viewers that the Okaloosa Public Library Cooperative is celebrating a 15th anniversary. Go to our website or the city or the cooperative website for more information about that. The city's website is www.cityofdestin.com. We really encourage you to go there. You can see the library's number here. Give them a call, ask them about any of these programs or events, or if you just have a question about technology, Tina will answer it. So be sure to check that out. Ladies, I really appreciate you being here.
Thank you for having us.
I even learned something, and I kind of know what you guys do on a regular basis, so I learn something every time, and I appreciate it very much.
Thank you, Doug.
Thank you. We have a couple of announcements to make, and I have a slide to show you right now about the city's open house. And our open house is going to be on Wednesday, October 24th from 11 to 2 p.m. at the Destin Community Center. That's at 101 Stallman Avenue. If you would like to come out to that, actually we encourage the public to come out to that, and we also encourage all the city volunteers to come out. The theme of that event is going to be a celebration of volunteers, where we're going to recognize all of the people who volunteer for Tina's programs, for programs in the rec department, all of our committees, even our council are volunteers. So we're going to highlight all of those folks, feed you lunch, have some giveaways, talk about recycling. That's a big program right now that the city is pushing. So we encourage everybody to come out for that. The last thing is the month of October is the Destin Rodeo, Destin Fishing Rodeo along the harbor. It's hard to miss, but come down to the harbor and be a part of that. And also the Destin Seafood Festival, October 5th through 7th. That's coming up very soon. Come down and check that out. The Charter Boat Association has worked very hard to put that on down along our harbor on the brand new Destin Harbor Boardwalk. We want to thank you for watching today. Be sure to stay tuned for Ted Corcoran with the City of Fort Walton Beach, and we'll see you next time.